pressure, the weight of the world. Should I say that everything in my life must be meaningful? I create stress within my life, for if I do not deem it as being meaningful, now it becomes meaningless. Do you sort of get it? So we understand there is no meaningful, there is no meaningless. They both exist simultaneously. Life is a coin. On one side of life is meaning, on the other side of life is meaninglessness. The coin does not exist in separation of one side to the other. Both sides create the coin. Do you sort of understand? So there is no meaning without meaninglessness. There is no meaninglessness without meaning. This contrast between the two, which is a contradiction. But in life, in any moment, they exist simultaneously, absent of anything. For me to be alive, I must also be dead. Do you sort of understand? It's a funny thing because we think in these physical terms of if I am alive, I cannot be dead. But in every second, every moment of my life, parts of me die, parts of me are created through my cells. My cells are dying and creating, and it's this process of death and rebirth, death and rebirth, death and rebirth. And this process, this understanding is what we are trying to come to when we understand spiritual enlightenment, when we understand enlightenment, this idea that in joy, there is sorrow. In love, there is loss. In sort of sadness, there is joy. Do you sort of understand? They exist simultaneously. There isn't one without the other. Because I do not comprehend or perceive joy without understanding the contrast of sadness. I do not perceive love without understanding the contrast of loneliness, of loss. Do you sort of understand? If there was no loss, love would cease to be love. Do you sort of get it? So we understand there is no life without destruction or death. For me to understand what is alive, I must